jump on here real quick because, so this page I use mostly for business or sharing like some personal behind the scenes. But I had a really intense therapy session this past week, and it made me wonder like why I don't share more about mental health. And I know part of the reason, and that's because there's a stigma around it. As much as we as a society throw around terms like trauma and mental illness and therapy, there is a stigma around getting help. And honestly, we cripple society as a whole when we do that, because when someone is made to feel bad about needing help, we have all of these toxic, unhealthy people walking around who are living at the mercy of their triggers and don't know how to help themselves. Hi, I was that someone. So yeah, let's chat. So obviously I realize that my situation is a little bit unique, and I don't say that to flex. I say that because the first week that I walked into my therapist's office and I told her why I was there and all the crap I'd been through, she literally looked at me and said, wow, that's bizarre. And I've never met anyone with a story like that. But everybody has been through trauma of some sort in some way. And society has made us think that if we want help in being a healthier, happier human being, somehow we're weaker. Like we're not able to do it on our own. And actually, if you're able to look at your life and say, I'm unhealthy and I need help to work through these things and I need help to be a better human being, that makes you incredibly strong. So yeah, coming out of a super intense therapy session this past week, I just had the thought of like, why is this not a conversation? Why is there still a stigma? And I wanted to share some resources that meant a lot to me this past week and kind of open a conversation. So let's go. Now to clarify, I'm not saying there's no conversation about mental health going on, because there are people standing up and there are people saying something. But as somebody who struggles with mental health and who is in therapy, one thing I've noticed is that there are conversations surrounding why you might need help. Here's what you've been through, and you might need some help to deal with that. And then there's conversations for the aftermath of, here's the tools you've been given, now here's how you can react or act. But there's not a lot of people talking about the middle part, the part where you're actually sitting in the therapist's office thinking, I'm in therapy, so I'm going to be getting better, right? And you actually do worse at first, because you finally have words and terms and labels, and you can finally fully understand what you've been through, and you're actually able to process. And I think there needs to be more resources or support for people who are in the middle of the process thinking, I feel like I'm drowning. Like, I thought I would be doing better, but I'm not. If you've been brave enough to get help in whatever form, whether it's via another person or a book or a podcast or whatever way that you're investing to help yourself be healthier, I just want to let you know that it feels like you're drowning when you're in the middle of it, because it's so much to unpack. And what you thought might have been as just a small trauma or just something small that hurt you, you don't realize that there's so many underlying things that you're going to have to work through as well.